Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Barb from Debbi Minero. All right, so this is kind of a part two if you watch every day or close to it. If you just happened to watch yesterday, we shared the tangle Rise and Shine, also by Debbi. So on our last Tangle Time, just this past Thursday, we shared both of them and had a lot of fun with them. So I will show you those later. This is a neat tangle. And you know, when it gets nice out here, then it's like, oh, all right, let's do the flowery, planty, organic-y type of tangles. And this one, you can do a lot with it. It can be viney, or you can make it into whatever you want. We'll just say that. All right. Starts off with a curvy line, however you want it. Let's see. I'm gonna make it maybe more of an S-ish shape. It's whatever your pen wants to do. It's okay. All right, then we're going to essentially aura this. And I'm going to come out like that a little bit. And then you can have it meet up at the top. That's what I'm going to do. Again, it depends on what you want to do with it. Up to you. Next, from here, and we can call this stem if you wish. We're going to do some, let's see. So I like to put things into the language of the elemental strokes of Zentangle language. And let me show you what those are in case you don't know. It is, I'll start off with the dot. And then it could be an I without the dot or a lowercase l, straight line, S, C, and an orb or an O, whichever way you want to say it. Some of us call that disco. I'm trying to remember what I called it before. I think it was just Lisco because I would put the dot at the end. It doesn't matter. But these are the 5 elemental strokes that make up tangles or some combination thereof. So when we do this stroke, and I'll just show you first, you can come a little way up. And I mean, it's kind of a loop-de-loop, but if you think about it, I guess it could be a C shape, and then another C shape, and then another C. I don't know, but I do like to speak in Zentangle-ese, just because I like to. All right, so we're going to spread these around because I'm weird. That's it. You know, and they can come whatever angle you want to have them come. They don't have to have 2. That one was really big, though. You know, you could just have a little single. There's a tangle by Zentangle called Ek, E-K-E, and it's this, and then you alternate. So sometimes I call this a half Ek, but still, I that doesn't go with the elemental strokes, does it? If I just call it that. So that's why I try to see how I can fit it in there. All right. So next, this one is more of an S type of shape, and here's what I'm going to do is I like to come from this line here, from this stem, and essentially we're auraing this bottom side. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of come up and then down around those, and then back up. So it's a weird S, but you get the idea. Same thing. Now it's funny, it was on our Tangle Time sessions, because it's fun because Mom and I we do things differently, and part of it, she's the artist with the art training, not me, and it's funny how we do things differently, and you know, I like to come from here and go out, and she was coming from outside because it worked better for her, and it's just really funny because we have that conversation, and it goes to show that there's more than one way to draw a tangle. All right, so once you have the undersides done, then the top side is really just a C shape. So coming from here, and then just have them meet out. You know, and if you have it come out further, then of course you can touch it up afterwards. Completely up to you, right? But just a nice C shape. On some of mine, let's see. Yeah, on the PM one, I didn't get this part as much. And while it doesn't matter, it does add some neat character to this. But however yours come out is fine. It's however it comes out. And that's basically it. Except for just the fun that you can have. I am going to do this. I don't know why I've been liking doing this. So I'm going to take this out and we'll make a little, just, you know, with just some dashed lines. I did it once and I'm like, oh, look at how that just is so cool. So now it's just like, oh, well, I'm doing something like that. That's what I'm going to do. All right. So like I said, you can have just lots of fun with it, but let's do some shading. Oh, let's see. Shading. Now, depending on how wide you make this, I'm going to just put this on the one side. I don't know that I have enough room to put graphite on both sides. This, oh, that looks like I used that for something dark. Okay. So, but if you have a nice fine-tipped Tortillion, might be able to fit. Let's just see. So I'm just doing what I call the scooch motion. No, maybe not. Oh, no, it is blending it. Okay. See how it's more of a gradient up here than down here. You can just tell the difference. And that's really what I'm aiming for, is to create that gradient and not have a harsh line. Ooh, like that. I think I could fit on the other side and leave, because what you want, let's just try it. I'm going to hold my breath a little bit. Well, you know what, though? Before I do that, let's do this instead. I'm going to go over this again. I'm going to just take from, oh, see? Yeah, the one side. What I was worried about is if I put the graphite down, I'm using what's left on the Tortillion, and then also kind of just taking some from here. Yeah, and you can see a very faint line of the original tile color. And sometimes that's all you need. And then too, it's darker on this side than this, so we get that rounded effect. And honestly, as you saw, it didn't really even have to do that side, but, you know. And then, oh, let's see if I have it here. If not, oh, wait, nope, yep, nope. Oh no. My desk is, well, it's cleaner, but because it's cleaner and I have my other stuff other places, it's become one of those the games where you put the coins in and then it you know, you have the bar and it just keeps scooting it, and then you drop the coin, so you're trying to scoot something off to win the prize. That's what the other side of my desk looks like. It's like the prizes, because they keep falling. Like, what's going on? Oh, I need to stop that. Clean it up once and for all. Here's what I was looking for. It's just funny. We just have to work with whatever our style is. So if you have a white charcoal, you might be able to emphasize that just a tad. Look at it, did a little bit, you know, and then I can bring it up. Could also use a white gel pen too. That could work. All right. And for me, it's anything but an eraser. I am stubborn. Will call me a purist. And I know which side of the family I got that from, I think. It's like, you know, no, it's going to be this way and that's that. And I'm going to find any way possible to not use an eraser, to not use a ruler. Even though you can, it's okay. And there are reasons why in Zentangle we don't do that, and that's really, it's in the method part. When you're playing around, you're doing Zentangle inspired art, it's all good. And if you don't understand the why behind it, I do try to throw that in here, you know, as I'm talking through tangles. But if you take Mine is called Zentangle Essentials. It's a class from a CZT where they explain the method. Everybody calls it something different, but you want it to be where they're explaining the 8-step method that is Zentangle. And then you get a better understanding of that. But like I said, I try to throw bits and pieces of that in, just depending on where my mind goes as we're playing. And see, and I'm putting the graphite just really at the tips, because I want, you know, this to kind of bend a little bit, and this, you know, because it's tucking in, or, you know, growing out of that. That's why I wanted to put some graphite there. No, maybe just a little teeny bit down here at the base. All right, just for something. I like it, and I hope you like it. This is really, having the dark on those sides there really makes that kind of pop out. Oh, such a fun tangle. So as I mentioned, and so simple and whimsical. That's, you know, it's kind of like, I love those because it exemplifies the idea of Zentangle, the whimsical part, because there is no right or wrong period anyway. But when you're doing when we're doing tangles that, no, because see, it really doesn't matter. Just some, and as I'm looking at this right here, from, what was this? Oh, I didn't write it down. This was the second half of another piece. But some seem to require a little bit more exactness, even though they really kind of don't at the same time. Do you know what I mean? But this, it's good however it ends up. And I love that about them. Okay, so here is what I did in our Tangle Time sessions. So like I said, this one was fun. I was using some blue, toned blue, I think it was called pastel paper. I got it at Dick Blick. And by the way, not a sponsor, but I do have a link in my link tree in the description section. If you wish to shop and use my link, I get a little something. So it's not necessarily I don't think I have to put this. There's paid advertisements because they're not paying me to advertise. I just have the have that. I think I only have a couple, but those links are in the in my link tree in the description section. Anyway, so I had a lot of fun with this paper. It was by Royal Talons, and I think they were bigger than, oh my gosh, what was it, 11 by, I don't know, 16 or something, enormous pads that I split with Mom, and so we can cut up and make all kinds of tiles out of them. I got some different other colors too. Anyway, so I had fun with this, and I wanted to make it more viney-ish. That's, I guess, as viney as I decided to make it. And just have fun. And then, you know, I used a combination of things to color in. I think this was General's chalk pencils, all of that. And then gel pens, jelly roll gel pens, and Prismacolor colored pencil. So a lot of fun there. And then of course the white jelly roll to make it a little juicy. And then this on the black. Oh, and I'll show this again. We'll see. You can see some stuff kind of in the background on the black. These are the UV pens from Jelly Roll, and it comes with this little UV light. You can use a black light with it too, but it's just in 3 colors. And I just thought, oh, how fun is that? And then because this kind of, I mean, it can look like a sun. This is the Rise and Shine, but we just had fun, and I made little. Sort of little houses. Although I did use some of the neon jelly roll, so it really interferes a little bit with the UV. Anyway, we had a lot of fun. But this, I decided, oh, I'm going to have them hanging down. Or I could make it a pink sun and have them growing up. It doesn't matter. But it was just, like I said, a lot of fun. And no matter how you end up doing these, they still always turn out really fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, would love it if you click on the like button. If you like it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I mentioned the description section. for my link tree, but above that is or are links to the step out. So I always do my own, and then also link to the creator of the tangle, so you can see their samples, you know, whatever I have gathered from you know, from wherever I got that from. This one we essentially launched. I know Deb sometimes puts them on her Pinterest, and there's a link if you want to connect with her on her step out. At the very bottom of that, you'll find, you know, ways to follow her. And I always try to add stuff like that as I can, so that way you can follow, you know, the artists that you like. Let's see. I do want to highlight in the link tree. Number one, if you would like to be a part of this is a free class. So I do this every Thursday. I do 2 sessions. I call it AM and PM. It's AM and PM my time. So that's 11 a.m., 7 p.m. Eastern time. And there are ways to follow me for classes in the link trees. Facebook is a great place, and if you happen to be on Facebook, this is where my brain was going first before I said, let's talk about classes. If you'd like to be, if you'd like to have even more fun and be part of a community of Tangle addicts, we have that community in a community group on Facebook. So there's a link there for it. There are 4 questions to answer to gain entry, just so you know. And then, you know, commence with the amazing fun that we have in that group. Let's see. So there's that. The classes, like I mentioned, these are free. I have classes on Tuesdays, also same start times. Most of the ones on Tuesday have some kind of a fee. So just so that way you're aware. Somehow I got to keep the lights on. And as I said that, the computer decided it was done recording. Anyway, come and join us online for fun. And with that, thank you so much for watching. And I wish you happy tangling.